Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So, my dear students, you know that we are discussing the bacterial cell structure, and today our focus will be bacterial flagella and some other appendages, including fimbriae and pili. First of all, let's talk about bacterial flagella. These are hair-like locomotory appendages which extend from the outer surface of the bacterial cell. Okay, they appear to extend from the cell wall and cell membrane of the bacterial cell. And these flagella are mostly present in spiral bacteria. In spiral bacteria, you will find that almost all bacteria possess these flagella. They are also present in bacilli, and they are exclusively absent in cocci. Okay, so one thing that you have to remember once for all, that is the flagella are present in almost all spiral bacteria. They are also present in some bacilli, but they are exclusively absent in cocci bacteria. Now their composition. What are they composed of? किस चीज़ के बने होते हैं? The bacterial flagella are composed of a single type of protein called flagellin. You have to remember this point. They are composed of a single type of protein called flagellin. Several chains of flagellin form a cylindrical filament. If you have a flagellin chain, many such chains, they come closer to each other and they form a filament-like structure. Okay, so remember that the bacterial flagella, it is composed of a protein called flagellin and several chains of flagellin. You have chains of flagellin proteins. They come together and form a cylindrical filament. Here you can see the structure in the diagram. They are slender, rigid structures about 15 to 20 micrometer long and about 20 nanometer across. That means they are 15 to 20 nanometer long, 15 to 20 nanometer long and 20 nanometer wide. Okay, here you can see this is the structure of the bacterial flagella. They are composed of three parts. तीन parts के बने होते. The first one is filament. Then we have the basal body, and finally the hook. Okay, I will repeat these things. The structure of the bacterial flagella is such that they appear as slender, rigid structures. Their length ranges between 15 to 20 micrometer, and their width is almost 20 nanometer. Okay, and they are composed of three parts. One is known as filament, second one is known as basal body, and third one is known as hook. Now we will talk about each of these one by one. First of all, filament. Filament is the longest and obvious part that extends from cell surface. Filament जो part होता है, it is obvious, it is apparent to us. Okay, it appears to extend from the cell surface. It is the longest and the apparent part, obvious part. Now second, the basal body. Basal body is that part of the flagellum which is not apparent to us. It is present in the cell membrane and cell wall. That means it is embedded in the bacterial cell. ये वाला portion जो है इसको हम बोलते हैं basal body. It is embedded in the cell wall and cell membrane of the bacterial cell. Now the third part is hook. It is a short curved segment that links the filament to the basal body. जो third part है यहाँ पे, आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, जो third part है, this part, this is known as hook. It is actually a short segment. It looks curved and connects the basal body. It connects this basal body to the long filament. Okay, this is the structure of the bacterial flagellum. Okay, it is composed of three parts: filament, basal body, and hook. Filament is the longest part and is obvious to us. It is apparent to us. We can see this under the microscope. Then basal body, it is that part which is embedded in the bacterial cell, cell membrane and cell wall, and that finally hook. It is a short segment which is covered and attaches, or you can say links the basal body to the filament. And the types of bacteria on the basis of their flagella, we have already discussed these things. We have atrachous bacteria. They doesn't possess any flagella. Monotrichus, a single flagellum. Lophotrichus, they possess stuffed up flagella at both ends. Okay, you have examples also here. Then we have Amphitrichus, single flagellum at each end. We have already discussed these details. Peritrichus, the bacterial flagella are distributed all over the surface of the bacterium. And then finally Cephalotrichus, you have a group of flagella only at one side of the bacterial cell. Now the other appendages that we are to discuss, they include fimbriae and pili. Okay, fimbriae or pili, they are short, fine hair-like, more or less straight appendages, and they are mostly observed in case of gram-negative bacteria. ये जो fimbriae और pili है, these are short, fine hair-like, straight or curved appendages. Okay, more or less straight. They are more or less straight. Sorry, and they are mostly observed in case of gram-negative bacteria. ज़्यादातर ये gram-negative bacteria में पाए जाते हैं. They are smaller and thinner than flagella and not involved in motility. ये जो fimbriae है या pili है, they are smaller and thinner than flagella, and their function is not motility. They have some other functions. They are composed of a protein called pilin, and the molecules, pilin molecules, they get assembled in helical chains around a central hollow core. Like flagellin, you have here pilin proteins. These pilin proteins, they get assembled in helical chains. Okay, they get assembled in helical chains and they enclose. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, they get assembled in helical chains. इस तरह, sorry, it is not working properly. They get assembled in helical chains, and these helical chains, they form a central hollow core. Okay, I will repeat these things. The fimbriae or pili, they are composed of a protein called pilin. Several molecules of pilin, they get assembled in helical chains and they enclose a hollow core inside. Now the function of fimbriae or pili. The main function of these appendages is adherence. It means they help the bacterial cell to get adhered to the host surface or some other cells. We have special type of pili which are known as sex pili, and these sex pili are involved in bacterial conjugation. We have to deal with this topic in a separate class. Okay, some pili are special. I will repeat, some pili are special, that they are exclusively involved in the transfer of genetic material from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell, and such pili are known as sex pili. Now the terminology about fimbriae and pili, how you can differentiate between these two structures. Usually the term is it is used interchangeably. Okay, but there are subtle differences between pili and the fimbriae. For example, pili are longer than fimbriae. How you can differentiate between pili and fimbriae? Pili are longer than fimbriae but fewer in number. जो pili होते हैं, they are longer than fimbriae. You can easily differentiate between pili and fimbriae. While pili are longer than fimbriae, but their number is less as compared to fimbriae. Okay, so this is all about the other bacterial appendages, including fimbriae and pili. I will repeat these things. These are short here, like more or less straight appendages, which are mostly observed in gram-negative bacteria. They are usually smaller and thinner than flagella, and they don't have the motility function. Instead, they help the bacterial cells get adhered to the host surface or the cells, and they are composed of a protein called pilin. And these pilin proteins, they form helical chains and enclose a central hollow core. Okay, the term is used interchangeably. The term fimbriae and pili, they are used sometimes interchangeably. That means when we talk of fimbriae, it includes pili. But there are differences between pili and fimbriae. While pili are larger, they are longer than fimbriae, but their number is fewer as compared to the fimbriae. Okay, so this is all about the today's topic. See you soon with a new lesson about the bacterial reproduction. Till then, stay blessed and thank you.